There are so many things I love about video games, but one of gaming's most undeniably charming components is just how weird it is. Even from the early days, video games have always possessed a pervasive strangeness that other forms of entertainment just can't quite replicate. I love weird. I am weird. Weird is good. With all that in mind, I thought, what better idea than to count down a few of my favorite weird games. Before we jump in, I just want to establish that my rankings here are determined by both the quality of each individual game, as well as the degree to which each title encapsulates strange. There are surely a million odd games I haven't played, so don't expect this to be a comprehensive list, and I hope you'll let me know if you have any bizarre recommendations that I don't mention here. Without further ado, let's count down my top 5 weird games. Hokum is a game I featured as B-roll in another recent video of mine, which led to a ton of people asking what the game was. It's easy to see why, as Hokum features a striking art style and minimalistic UI. You may be wondering what it is you actually do in the game, and the answer is, well, you just feel it out. Hokum is about exploring the space around you at your own pace. There are specific goals to accomplish in each area, so it's not directionless, but this isn't a game interested in applying pressure. The end result is just the opposite, as Hokum provides a uniquely tranquil, warm sensation, not just in its pastel art, but in its simplistic control scheme that maps moving your serpent forward to wiggling of the analog stick. It's light on length and mechanical depth, but offers a joyous, one-of-a-kind opportunity to slither around a beautiful, often inexplicable world.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with a house.
No matter what problems you may have in your family, just be glad you're not a Finch. For generations, each member of the Finch clan has found themselves dying in all number of strange ways, and in what remains of Edith Finch, you find yourself venturing back to your old family home to investigate the mysteries that it hides. As Edith, you'll slowly unlock the innumerable hidden passageways and rooms in your house, which is quirky in and of itself, but it's in the investigations of your late relatives where things really start to get weird. You'll relive the circumstances that led to each family member's passing, which invites an incredible amount of creativity and gameplay variety. One moment you'll find yourself exploring the panels of a comic book, and the next, you're a shark rolling down a hill. Edith never runs out of ideas and manages to work in some legitimate pathos alongside its macabre humor. At its brief runtime of 2 to 3 hours, it's a must-play for anyone who appreciates the medium.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't make a list about weird video games without including one of the strangest of them all, Katamari Damacy. Originally released for PlayStation 2 in 2004, Katamari places you into the petite shoes of the prince, who's tasked with rebuilding the galaxy after his gigantic father accidentally destroys all of its stars and planets. How do you do this, you ask? Why, by rolling everything up, of course. The prince is equipped with what must be a very sticky ball that he uses to accrue various objects and individuals unfortunate enough to be in his path. The first level takes place in a room as you soak up stamps and push pins, but as you progress through the game, you grow capable of overtaking humans and even buildings. It's an insane concept that's further bolstered by its cheery art style and unforgettable soundtrack. Unlike the other games on this list, Katamari has grown into a proper franchise with numerous entries, and while I like some of them more than Katamari Damacy, I have to give the nod here to the original. I know this one seems really out there, and, well, it is, but that's what makes it so great. When you witness the cacophony of terrified civilians as you roll up everything they hold dear, you'll get what I mean. I may be exhibiting a bit of recency bias with this one as I just played it this year, but man, Norco. I love this game. Norco is a point-and-click adventure set in a futuristic Norco, Louisiana. You play as Kay, who returns to her hometown after learning that her mother, Catherine, has died of cancer. What ensues is a truly unpredictable ride filled with cults, robots, and a very aggressive Santa Claus. Norco isn't as flashy as, say, Katamari Damacy. It may not look quite as weird on the surface, but trust me, strange is this game's middle name, in the best way possible. Norco's bizarre writing especially lends each character a memorable voice. Each member of the cast feels like a grounded caricature, which almost sounds like an oxymoron, but somehow Norco pulls it off. It's just a remarkably immersive world, and let me tell you, one specific exchange in this game made me laugh harder than any video game ever has in my entire life, and that is not an exaggeration. Norco's weirdness takes a while to seep in relative to the other games on this list, but give it some time and you'll be cracking plenty of confused smiles.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television.
I thought a lot about what to place in the number 1 slot for this list, and no matter how much I pondered, I kept coming back to The Binding of Isaac. I've yet to discuss this game on the channel, so allow me to establish I am a recovering Isaac addict. I've put almost 400 hours into the game according to my PS5, which likely pales in comparison to Isaac's most ardent supporters. The game is a roguelike that follows its eponymous character into his labyrinthine procedural basement after his toxically pious mother begins chasing him down with a knife. A strange premise, to be sure, but it barely holds a candle to what you'll find along your numerous journeys. The many layers of Isaac's basement contain a vast array of vulgar weirdos, many of whom are pretty unidentifiable. What is that? What is that? Is that Poopy? Yeah, that's Poopy. What are you using to attack these creatures? Isaac's own traumatized tears that can be upgraded into countless bizarre permutations. The amount of content on display here is simply staggering. Maybe it's not quite as weird as some of these other games. Well, I don't know, maybe it is, but its oddity in conjunction with its sheer quality gives The Binding of Isaac the top spot. Isaac, along with all the games shown here in this video, highlight just how wonderfully strange video games are. Don't get me wrong, I love the latest straightforward AAA shooter as much as the next guy, but without these fever dreams to act as palate cleansers, all the shooting would begin to blur together. In an industry that can feel increasingly risk-averse, I take great solace in experiencing its most puzzling corners. Here's hoping that no matter how popular they may become, video games never forget how to be weird.
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.